Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are now tuned in and watching Unqualified Qualifications with me. It's your host, comedian V Mac, and today I'm with one of my comic friends. He's been all around this country, traveled everywhere, done everything down there. He's working on more. My man, comedian Ray Money. Tell everybody what up, Ray.
What up? What's up, everybody? I'm comedian Ray Money, I guess.
you guess.
Sometimes, hey, don't we always work out like that every night?
Then what are you at night?
Hey, man, I'm a comic some nights. I'm an artist other nights.
Up there just sweating it out. So what's going on, man? What's new? How's life been going?
Man, it's coming along, man. Struggling.
Struggling? How are you struggling?
Hey, man, that's it, man. Working every day, man. It's always a struggle, man.
All right, so let's get a little bit in depth into the comedian Ray Money. So first of all, let everybody know that is your name.
Yeah, that's me.
You know what I'm saying? Because people be like, Ray Money, that's your stage name.
Nah, man, that's my real name. So I'm a junior, actually.
Ray Money Jr.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's it.
And where you from?
Troy, Alabama.
All right. And when did you come to North Carolina?
I got up here, 2008?
Mm-hmm. So how long were you in Troy? You went to high school in Troy, college and all that?
Yeah, I went to high school in Troy and some college in Troy. I mean, I had college a lot of places.
You're a career college guy.
Yeah, man. I was.
So what made you go into comedy? Like, how did you turn the curve from Troy to North Carolina? When did the comic bug hit you, and when did you realize you were funny? Like early in life? How did that work?
I don't know. I mean, people have always told me, but I ain't think nothing of it. So it's just something that people tell you, and it's like, oh man, you funny, and you don't think nothing of it. So it's been I don't know. I guess pretty much all my life. I mean, I've watched comedy over the years. Watched Comic View as a kid, and pretty much most of your comedy stuff. I think Comic View was probably the most impactful because my mom and them used to watch it in the other room, and I used to come look around the corner.
It was clean comedy, so you wouldn't.
Yeah, well, my parents weren't like that, man. My mom and them locked up a Ludacris CD. Well, that's different.
They locked up a Ludacris CD?
Yeah, they locked
what
up.
Happened with that?
They locked up my sister Ludacris CD.
For what? Because it was too racy?
Yeah. We was in high school, and my sister was like, she had what was in the first?
Back for the first time.
I guess so. I think it was the one with your fantasy on it.
Yeah, with the afro on the cover.
Yeah. My daddy caught wind of it. He done locked it in the toolbox in the garage. Now we really want it.
Now she's scarred for life now.
Man.
So what pushed you to get on stage? What was the moment? Who, how, where, what?
Oh, to get on stage? I mean, it's part of it, just the... I've kind of been. I mean, I've been told to be funny, and one day I went and tried it out, and I kind of fell in love with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I fell in love the first time, and I kind of just been at it. My bad. Mm-hmm. Since then, that's pretty much it.
So you was doing open mics before you went to the comedy school?
No, I mean, I didn't go to the comedy school until maybe like 4 years ago. Yeah, like I took. Well, I can't say that. Maybe.
Well, the first time I met you, you had went in and never came back. You didn't go again.
Yeah, that was 2013. I did. I went. I wanted to be in the class, but at the time I couldn't afford the class.
So you was just skipping in the class, huh?
No, I went to the class and I did the little introduction. They told us, I was like, I heard there was going to be a class. I just showed up, and they said how much it was going to cost, and so I kind of just bounced. I ain't come back. I said I'm gonna have to figure this shit out on my own.
So you started hitting open mics after that?
Yeah, that was pretty much it then. But I started hitting open mics before then. So my very first time even thinking about comedy, I went. There was a place in Fort Mill, and I think, what's the name of the place? Madison's or something like that. It was just like
the restaurant, right?
No, this was I don't know what you talking about. This was next door. There was a bar next door, and then there was like a little, basically like one of the hotel meeting rooms. Like there's basically like that, but it had a stage in it. It was real small, kind of long. So, Chris Corrado was hosting open mic. I think him and who else was there? That's the only person I remember. Maybe Will Jacobs, maybe. But or he was there at least one other night hosting, but they would end up hosting. I just came in, when I first did, I was just watching people go up, and I was like, man, everybody wasn't doing so good. I was like, I can fit in. If I don't do good, I mean, it ain't gonna be no difference.
Yeah,
I know I could do better than that. And at first there was nobody really in there, mostly comics. And then I guess whatever happened, and then people, they let in from the bar next door, and it was probably maybe about 20 people in there. So now it was already a small little room, so it felt packed. So I got on stage, and it's the first time on stage. I just random stuff. I hadn't planned on going on stage. I was just watching, and actually Chris had came over and asked me, "Hey man, you want to go up?"
Just for no reason.
I guess I just looked like I wanted to go up, but he asked me, and then I went up, and they let them people in, and I didn't bomb, so I got a few laughs, and that was it. I just kind of been at it.
Yeah, how did you feel when you got up the stage the first time?
I don't really know. I mean, it was just this was really fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know if I knew this was going to be the thing I'll be doing today, but yeah, it kind of worked out. I guess it's a working out. I guess maybe.
So after that you just started hitting the roads. How was it getting shows? How did you blend from open micer to getting on shows and getting around us? Basically, we all linked up. But
oh man, I just started hitting every mic that possible. That was me. I mean, I have a work ethic, and I just go. So that was pretty much been from any time I can hit a mic, I go every stage that I possibly could to work on material. And then you meet people like yourself and other comics that you meet around, and they're as active as you are. Then you see them at all the mics, and I just didn't stop. That's pretty much it.
So when did the writing come into the play?
When was probably the first time? I used to go on stage, and at first I would just do what would first come to my mind, and I did we was at Vibrations, and it probably was between Maurice and Talent and all of them. I would start the stuff that I was thinking about. I was like, okay, I should think about more to the shit. And I would write that down. And then, all right, I'd write the next line down of something I may just be roasting or talking about. And then I'd feel from that point, just kind of fill in from there. So that's pretty much been my writing style, comes from the roast sessions or things that I'm thinking about. And more lately, since when I'm traveling, I'm generally by myself a lot of times. So I forgot it's being released. I got that shit on me too.
What?
I got that mother.
Yeah, he be by himself, y'all. Come get him.
Yeah, I got that file. You gonna get you something.
This money gonna make you some change.
But nah. Anyway, I be saying that I generally by myself, so it's not a way to roast with people.
Yeah.
And so I just would think about what other people would say back to me. So I'm basically having a conversation with myself to create the material. And I just kind of been doing it that way from that point. And
So how is the business of comedy to you? Like from being an open micer to getting on shows, when did the business part come into play with you?
Pretty early on. So man, I come from a business background. That was while I was doing this, started coming. I was already in banking. At that point, I was working at the bank. So I've kind of learned over the years. I used to do what's the telephone company thing, ACN, the network marketing thing, and I wasn't very good at that, but I got a chance to meet other business because a lot of the people that were doing this network marketing stuff, there were a lot of business owners. So I didn't learn how to do that well, but I was around a lot of business owners, so I got a chance to listen to them talk, and you start to learn the language of what they talking about and how. And then eventually you get some people that if you ask them questions, I learned that if you just ask somebody to tell you, that's been the. And from that point, I just kind of been piecing it together.
I feel you. So you doing the business thing. So you started running shows. You started doing. How did that come about? With the shows you was running in Gastonia?
Oh, in Gastonia. Well, I'm producing some shows right now in a few cities. One in Troy, Alabama. One in Spindale, North Carolina. I was producing one in Gastonia. But all of these locations kind of stem from me needing a place to work out material. Just from doing it so long, it's been, you get younger comics that come in, and then it's the stage time to be able to work out the length of material that I need to work out, or just get the reactions that I need. The space wasn't conducive for that, so I originally just started just like, all right, let me just do an open mic, and I started in Troy, and there wasn't really many people that came out, so I ended up just doing like an hour of just material myself, and it felt good. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I should just make this kind of like a little show, and I host it, and I just book other comics here from around the area. At the time, I didn't know many comics in the area like that, so I have a couple comics that are up here. I was able to bring them down, but that's pretty much was it. I was just trying to find a space to work out material that at the places that I was already going. I got family there, so I go there every month to visit family. So I'm like, all right, wherever I'm going, if I can find a venue or somewhere where I can work out my material, I just produce a show there, and then just kind of working out. Like we work with the Small Business Development Center.
What's that?
It's basically small business support. It's offered through the state. They have basically the state gives money to different colleges, and that basically there's a group that the Small Business Development Center, and they actually are state funded, and they help existing small businesses or startup small business, and they help you with stuff from establishing your LLC to pointing you. Like we've been working with Felicia Williams at the Gaston College, and she's just been directing us with people to help us with website and marketing. As a free service for anybody that's interested, but if you can just go type in small business development, they've got this place in other states too. But yeah, I mean, we've been just working with them for the last year and a half to try to help us formate the business. But from the business aspect on my end, I mean, I've just been piecing shit together. That's it. I mean, from being in banking, I learned that none of these places, none of the companies, just from working in the industry and talking with the people, nobody has it all figured out. They're constant because business is constantly changing. So people, when I tell someone that they're interested in a startup, look, just start, because you ain't, whatever you write down on your paper not gonna be the thing unless you just amazingly talented at all these features. It may happen, but it may not happen in necessarily that order. So I just keep whacking at it.
Yeah. So you've been going at it for a long time. So let me ask you a question. This is something I always wanted to know, especially from your point of view. What's the difference between doing colleges, the casinos, and the actual clubs?
Oh man, there's just the different genres of comedy and being all different audiences. That's pretty much for the most part what it is. The colleges, they're different demographics. So, and even within that, there's a different culture within those different demographics. So if you look at a college, performing for a college, most of these students are anywhere from, let's just say, I'll just say 17 to 30, with a majority of depending on the type of college. It could be, if it's a community college, it may be a more mature audience, and you may have some that are 25 to 30 and mixed in there. But if you're doing just more of a university, then you will have more kids in there. Consider, young adults. Starter adults.
The starter kids.
Yeah, they're young, they students, they learn in life. So you gotta change your material to at their understanding level. So like if I'm talking to a casino crowd, it's a more older crowd. So they would understand just as a whole divorce on a different level than someone that's experiencing it at the college level. Most of the students, if I talk about it, I'm just using it as an example. If I talk about divorce to a college level, most of them have experienced it as a kid. So they haven't experienced actually going through a divorce versus the adults on this end. And the older, mature crowd, they may have experienced it either on both ends or just one end where they've gotten divorced and they may not experience. So they're experiencing. So how you talk about it would determine on how they understand it. So that's kind of you're looking from their viewpoint when I start to create the material. If I'm talking about a college, then I'm creating it from the viewpoints of something that they can understand, even though it'll be my story or whatever it may be, or if it's just a joke that I'm talking about, they can understand it from their. Because when I look out into an audience, I understand there's different levels of intelligence that are in the audience all at one time, and all of those audiences come from different backgrounds. So me, when I talk about stuff, I try to make sure that I have me in there a little bit, if nothing else, and then I developed it from the people understanding what I'm talking about. You got to know what I'm talking about first, at whatever level that may be. If it's like an umbrella that I'm talking about, or I'm talking about a local store or whatever it may be, then that's generally where my writing comes from. And from that point, I just kind of start roasting whatever, and then I'll put whatever storyline that may happen from me being around that place or being in that place. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you write sets per situation? Like say, you write a college set? Do you write a casino set? Do you write a club set?
Man, I'll be honest, that has not been me. I just been going because I have so many jokes. And that's been, and so it just, it's changed over the years because I've been forced to, like with producing shows. I've been doing it like I was doing 3 shows. I was doing 3 shows: Gastonia, Spindale, and Troy, Alabama. These are my workout rooms. So I was doing anywhere from between 45 minutes. Well, I would say sometimes I would bring it down to like 20, 30 minutes, depending if I had guests, but anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour of just me up front. And sometimes I've been having to have where these are returning people at these shows. Because in Troy, I was doing 2 shows same night. I'll do an early show and a late show. The first show would be some of the new people that I've never seen before, but always late show. There'll be the people that came last month. So I gotta have
new shit. Yeah.
I gotta have new shit, which that terrified me at first, but then I was like, all right, well now what I can do is, as I'm coming up with this, and some of this will be me I'm gonna freestyle, I'm gonna work out that hosting muscle. All right, I'm a host and I'm gonna freestyle, and then I'll pull material from this up front. So I'm having 2 shows. That means the first show in Troy, I'd have the opportunity to do some older material, or I can do this brand new material, work it out in this audience, and then work it out in this audience in front of people that have come to the last show. then from there, I leave there. The next week, I have Gastonia. These will be some of the same people. We'd have some new people, but then it's also some of the same people that will return the next month. So now I'm working out this same material, 1, 2. I'm working out the same material. Not all the same material, but I'm pulling pieces from it and then adding to it from the writing piece. I got to listen to the set, and I got to add to it. And then now I can take it to this other venue. I'm adding pieces in there. So it came from doing the colleges because I learned my very first time going through the college that shit wasn't good. It wasn't nice.
What happened?
Because you learn that, all right, you learn that they don't understand, because I was used to doing the clubs and the casinos. There's much more older crowds. Mm-hmm. And I learned that when you go to the colleges, they shy. They new. Everybody, like you was in high school, they're kids. They still got the kid spirit.
The first experience being out there at a comedy show or something.
At a comedy show. So even the reaction in it, the engagement with them is different. So I'm having to like, for a while, I was sitting down for a minute and I'll just sit and I'll just do stories from the seat. And then, but it made me get up on my feet. I got to get them out of their own self.
Get them engaged.
Get them engaged. So now I'm talking with them and then also, trying to make, they sit in little corners, because sometimes all these college shows, they wouldn't be just in fan. Some of them in like a theater, and then some of them in like a lunchroom, and then some of them in yeah, man. I did one, and this is University of Pikeville, and this is in Pikeville, Kentucky. They had their population. It's a very beautiful campus, by the way. They had so many students, and this is because they get a lot of sports scholarship stuff that come out there, and they had so many students. They had bought a hotel. I think it was the Marriott or something like that. Mm-hmm. They bought the Marriott to house the excess students.
Wow. So
the students were living in this hotel basically, and at the bottom they had converted the lobby area into a restaurant, like there for the students. So it was like there, and so they brought me in, and I told jokes next to the fireplace and down here in this lobby/restaurant area. Hey man, it was cool, man. They had a good time, and that was part of the concept with me. I'm like, and the way that we had to do it there was kind of along with the trying to just figure out a place to work out materials, and started putting shows anywhere somebody sit around and gather up in a circle.
Yeah, you got to get it how we live.
Yeah, man.
So why was it so terrifying to try new stuff off in those situations? Like, how would you want to try the new stuff off? Open micing it? Or,
what you mean?
Like you said, you was terrified for the second show. I mean, the first show you was using new material, but the second show you wasn't. So why was it so terrifying that you were scared?
No. You mean for when I was doing the root? You mean Troy. The college? Yeah, in Troy. That one, you want to give the people a new show. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it is. You don't want to you're selling people. They don't want to hear the same thing every time that. Mm-hmm. But I was actually just wanted to make sure that the people had a good show, and I'm like, all right, how do I do this each month to one, fulfill my need of being able to create new material, whether it's for the college, casino, whatever, and creating rooms will allow me to do that, because I can run it how I can do as much time as I want to, or as little time as I want to. I think that's the thing that I see from a lot of comics. They're stuck into the format. You got to do 2-3 comics or this, or you got to do this. I found out, man, from just doing it in other places, and doing it for some big names and little names, it's all different. Yeah. So you really pretty much make it your own. That's why you got, that's pretty much it. You make it your own, man. If people want to come out and watch you, I've seen people do one man show, and that's generally what I do at the college. I couldn't afford to bring nobody with me, so I'm like, I got to do it all myself, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna.
How much time they give you at the colleges?
I do an hour.
Mm.
I do maybe a little more over than an hour. So, but you do figuring out how to. It's win, lose, or draw. Ain't nobody coming before me or after me.
So what happens if you do bomb? Just because it happens, right? So what happens when you do bomb in colleges? Do the people who booked it let you know you suck, or do it like, or is it just like fuck it? I just go to the next show.
The check cleared. I don't know nothing else about that. I mean, you'll get to understand. I mean, I've gotten feedback from like other comics coming and I've actually opened up a few comedy series for some of the colleges. Like we're doing the college I'd go to. We used to go to a college conference, the book conference. It's basically like the big talent show.
Yeah, the NACA, right?
I do APCA.
Okay.
I've never done NACA, but I've enjoyed doing APCA, and it's like a big talent show. You come out and you display your talent, and then the colleges they come into a room and they just put your whatever you were asking for up on a board along with other people, and they kind of raise their hand. Yeah, we want him for this date, or we want him for that date, and then that's kind of from that point you. And it kind of depends on how you do it. I was doing everything myself, so I've pretty much run the full agency myself. So I put myself through to actually. But if you have an agent, then you would go. Your agent would work out whatever deal and travel or whatever it may be. And
so you was booking your own road shows, basically.
Yeah, man. I do everything now.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. How do you feel about the young comedy scene here?
I don't know, man. I dip in and out. I come in to work on material at some of the shows. I mean, I like the union that I see when I go out to a lot of the open mics. I see some of the comics at the same, going to each other's room. But I think it's just like any other comedy scene. You can have some people that are in it that's gonna take it serious, and then some that will, they just see it for a hobby. It's something they like to do. And I think for the most part, the people that have a goal or a belief or a true belief that they're gonna actually do it, they gonna work the hardest, and they gonna get the most work. They gonna do the extra stuff of driving hours to go do 5 minutes on a show,
Yeah.
or 30 minutes, and then because you're trying to let people know you're out here. So.
So how was your writing game in comparison to theirs? Do you think like they're behind us, even if they like been around for a long time? Do you think they're behind the curve with us?
What do you mean?
Because like remember we was coming in, we was busting 3 minutes and turning it. We was doing like 5 minutes and 3 minutes at the Zone. You know what I'm saying?
Who you mean?
You remember we used to do the
you talking about
comedy competitions
at the fight night?
Yeah, they give us 3 minutes and we do 5 and 3. Right.
Yeah.
So when I go out, I'm not trying to knock nobody, but they do a lot of extra talking. Right. So do you feel that's the change in comedy now? Or, because remember, we had to get to the funny. Like,
nah, I mean, it's depending on who they see. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody going to have their, one of the best things that I did was actually visit, there's a comedy museum in, what's the name of the city? Jamestown, New York.
Yep, with Lucille Pearl.
Correct. They have the Lucille Ball there as well.
Lucille Ball, said Pearl, yeah.
Yep. They've got that in a National Comedy Museum. That was probably, and I just happened to get booked through a college there, and I saw there was a museum, and it was delightful because you're like, wow,
yeah.
How could I not go? And this is here. But I went, and I was actually working at the same. I was working remotely, and I was supposed to be in nobody's museum, but I had the laptop with me, and I'm going through the museum. But while there, you could see the different types of comedy, slapstick, whether it's the Three Stooges or Eddie Murphy, they're all different.
Mm-hmm.
And from George Carlin, everybody's different. And from what I see different, that let me know that because there's different, that means there's different people. Those people may or may not like that type of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of left me with more confidence to do whatever, because somebody may like it or may not like it.
True.
So you just gotta do what you're gonna do that makes you laugh, and whoever go fuck with it, gonna fuck with it. That's pretty much
True. Do you consider yourself a mentor?
Not really. I mean, I answer questions. I've been approached to ask, and maybe down the line, I don't know.
You
Maybe.
don't know.
I got kids, and they'll tell you now.
So what's the? No, that ain't worth shit.
Nah.
So what's the end game for you in comedy?
Man, I just want to be a tour, and to be able to tour as a comic, to provide comfortably for my family, and then be able to provide comfortably for my family when I'm not touring. So that's pretty much it. I want to tell jokes.
So you rather do the stage than actually promote a comedy show?
What you mean?
Like produce it. You rather do the stage?
I mean, at this point, mean to actually be active in it.
Yeah, it seem like hitting the road and doing that, or would you rather just have your own show in one location or those multiple locations? Which one is better for you?
I mean, I like it all. I mean, it's not they all have their own purpose. When I'm on the road, I get to, because of the, like if I'm at spots that I run, I'm hosting. So it's a different energy for me. At least I don't know about everybody else, but it's a different energy when I'm hosting versus when I'm featuring or headlining. Because I know that I'm there's a requirement from me then. Mm-hmm. So if I'm hosting, then I know, of course, I'm expected to carry the show, but ultimately when I'm hosting, what I'm thinking about, I'm working on the material that I have, and I want to make sure it's a great show. Also work on the material that I need to work, the new material that I need to work on. At least at the shows that I'm running now, work on the material that I need to work on. And then also have enough in the bag in case maybe the feature's not doing as well, or even the headliner. Because at the end of the day, even if the expectation, make sure that your headliner does well, and I've not had a problem where they haven't been, but in the event they well, because I'm running it, I'm going to make sure that I close the show out with everybody having a good time. So that's probably one of the things for me. Like, all right, the people having a good time. If they having a good time, it really don't matter what else, anything else
the
after
whole
that
point
point.
of the show,
yeah, that's.
So I'm a comedian just like you, and I know these.
But that's where there's different versus having done a comedy show and then someone coming to see you. Two very different things.
How so? Like,
so if you may see like at your local comedy show, like you say, and this is where if you've gone to a show they want to go and they want to talk and do to you, it's laugh. But if you go in to see, well, I guess you still have a good time at all of the shows because they're different styles. Same way, like Dave Chappelle is a long storyteller, or or Ali Sadiq that's they're a storyteller, versus someone that's I don't know, or like a Sean Jones is 1, 2, 3. They pop. There's two different styles of comedy. Both you're gonna have a good time, but they both different styles. Mm-hmm.
But your fan base will know it.
Your fan base will know. But that's the thing. The idea is, the thought process is that they're that way at all the shows. But comics, we're different at different times. So sometimes I'll do a longer story, and then sometimes I'm roasting and I'm going boom, boom, boom. But I think that's where you say the different casino, the colleges, and you gotta have some different flavor for everybody. You can't have one flavor for everybody, but all of it is you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you this question. What was your worst time on stage and your best time?
Worst time?
Like, you ever get booed off the mic?
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, look, the problem is, I don't know. I've had some bad ones. Let me think. I try to block them out. Let me see if they there. Oh, yeah. One, I've had the Omega House.
Oh, man.
And, well, I don't know. I had a for those people that don't know, the Mega House is the Q Dogs of Charlotte, man.
Yeah.
We
Statesville Road.
in Statesville Road. Man, they used to a long time ago. They used to you could be BYOB, so you could bring your own bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, good old
Bring
times.
your own bottle to the comedy show.
Yeah.
And they had a buffet before.
Yeah, had a buffet before too. Man, how could you not enjoy yourself? Your own liquor bottle
And a buffet.
Buffet.
And they had a bar in case you
they had music after the show and
before.
They still they got one this month too. But anyway, I got a little too saucy. I done been drinking so much, I done lost the top to my liquor. I'm like, where is my lid? And I don't usually, but we was BYOB. You know, you get to sipping and having a good time. You know, and you look, and it's a little drip in the bottle there.
And you ain't even been on stage yet.
I ain't been on stage. Hey, and this is the very first joke. It hit hard too. If you know Tito, if those people that don't know Tito Coops, man, shout out to Tito. He always been looking out for the young comics, man.
True.
He called me, hey Ray, going up. I came on up, and Tito used to always do this entrance, and you know he do lavish entrance. He cool ass brother, and but Tito, he a cute dog, but he small. He not like big like most cute dog. And so the very first joke I did when I came up, I was like Tito. What I said? I was like, Tito called me and he said, hey Ray, you need to dress up. I was saying some shit. Ray, you need to dress up, and he was dressed up and I wasn't. And I was like, man, I don't even know what to wear, man. Tito small as shit. And then first of all, Tito throw me off because all this time I'm talking to him. I finally realized that he a Q dog. I thought he was just putting the show on for the Q dog because he was so small. I said, Tito, it should mess me up because all the Q dogs I know, they big, huge, big cornbread, mother. I'm like, Tito, you a Q? He's like, yeah, I'm a Q. I was like, Tito must be a lowercase Q. When I tell you the place that, because this is all the Omegos in there. They all Tito like the smallest one in there. When I tell you the place erupted, they was in there dying. And then I said some other shit out there, but I had done drunk so much, man. I ain't know what the next joke was. Hey, and then I kind of find out later. Somebody told me, and I don't know if this to be true. I ain't never asked it, but I think Clyde started to boo me, man. And he started. It's another comic that started to boo
Because of Clyde. He started it.
I don't know. That's what I heard, man. But I don't care. It is what it is.
Sound about right, because that was my story. Comic started my booing session. That was wild.
Hey, look, but it is what it is. This is you live and you learn, man. Because shit, I ain't drunk that much for going. I ain't gonna say I don't drink, but
Side effect of the craft.
Yeah, man. It is doing the craft, man. You around alcohol all the time. It's hard.
And alcoholics,
man.
Depressed people.
Yeah, man. All them. They come to the show sad.
And then they go on stage sad.
It be my job, man. It ain't just that. It be the audience members sometimes too.
Wanting us to cheer them up,
man.
And they just mad for no reason.
I I did a alumni thing for JSCU.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as before I could even get to the mic, a lady folded her arms up. I like, hey man, I fold your arms. I ain't cut your AC off in your car. That's your air compressor. Don't ain't got nothing to do with me unfold.
So what was your best time? Your best.
The best?
In your mind.
Probably the I don't know, man. They all get the If I had to choose one, I don't know, man. There's they all bring what they need to bring when they need to bring it. Mm-hmm. So like when I say that, I mean first time doing the college stuff was a different experience, but it was exciting because I had never done it. It was and challenging. Doing it from your home people, man. That's the in front of. I guess probably that's it. Probably the best time is doing it in front of my parents. So my parents have come to shows back home, and for them to see me perform, and then up to this point to we locked in, we support now, and that was a big part of continually to be in it. My parents, sister, my wife, and everybody around me. That's I guess because I guess they don't say I ain't gonna stop. So
Yeah, it's a drug, man.
I'm in it, and I don't know if it's just they don't see them gonna stop, but my wife's grandmother, she says sometimes you get God wings. God winks, meaning like you doing something and you doing, and so you'll get the blessing when you need it. So that's pretty much been this shit been a struggle, dog.
Yeah, comedy is a struggle.
Yeah, man.
So explain to people. People don't understand this, and I tell people a lot of this sometimes. Okay, this is multiple tier question. So we're gonna first start off with the first part before I get to what I was gonna say. Do crowds make comics suck, or like if you know how they be like, man, the crowd was bad today. The crowd was bad today. Can't you could turn those crowds, correct?
Yeah.
So it's the comic or is it the crowd that
It's the comic. It's definitely the comic. The crowd gonna be the crowd no matter what audience. I mean, that's me, man. People, you can give whatever excuse, but it's your job to adjust the crowd. When you on stage, you run everything. It's not for me on stage. It used to be just the stage. When I'm on stage, I'm running everybody, the staff, everybody in my sight. I'm running this room. So if you ain't smiling, I'm talking to everybody. It ain't gonna be I gotta control the whole room because I'm the ringleader at this point. So this is what you came for. I gotta have everybody engaged. If there's gonna be engaged, I gotta have the staff doing what they doing. If the chairs are too loud, it don't matter. I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
And there's people make excuses about the space, whatever it may be. If you can make people laugh and you get the biggest part is getting people's attention. And that's and them wanting to hear what you gotta say.
Yeah, you got them in that first moment.
Yeah, even if you don't got them with the joke, you can get them. Maurice Rose, I used to watch. Funny ass brother, man.
Yeah, Rose.
So Maurice he played the drums. I don't see him brother play the drums and all type of stuff to get the audience on his side. Or
dancing on.
Yeah, you dance or whatever it may be. But I learned from him watching him or watching Sean Jones or Diaz or even you. Everything that you do, you're gonna get a reaction from it. So you're just learning what react. As I watch myself a lot on my stand up or listen to it. So especially when I start watching to see how people react to me, whatever it is that I'm doing, and from there you start to learn. All right, this is my strength, whether it's me roasting or just telling the story. Like at times when I'm on stage, I can watch. I can almost know how I know at certain points how quiet the room gonna get just by the. And I used to, like some people run from the quietness. Yeah. I understand now that the way of telling stories, I can see people stop. Sometimes I can see the wait staff stop to watch. So I learned to use that, and I didn't know what it was before when I just be talking and people would they just be walking, and then certain things I'd be doing, they stop, and I watch the staff, they stop and watch me doing it.
They
listening. But I learned at what points I when people are listening. And I learned how to get them to listen. And I don't know if it's just from watching and now just doing it now, but whenever I'm telling a story there, I can see them when they're engaged, they listening. And so I would do jokes, and then I gotta get your attention back. Something I gotta because I know people can't do this. When you listening and you're intense, it's like when people watching TV and they don't hear people around them, they go, huh? And then they caught, like when you was a kid, your mom,
where you see something run by.
yeah. When you're not even paying attention to the world around you. You so engulfed into the TV. And the same way I watch my kids do that now, and the way I watch a movie and you so engulfed into it, that's kind of what I try to do to stand up. I need you engulfed for at least a moment, so I got your attention, so you can't look off. Mm-hmm. And I just been trying to add more and more of that into my material.
Mm-hmm. Quick question: is there such thing as black rooms and white rooms? What's the difference? Like, some people like black rooms are harder, some people like white rooms are harder. I believe it's the comic. Like, some people can't do them, some people could do both. Like, what do you prefer? Like,
I mean, I intentionally did both starting, so that was because they have different flavors that they enjoy. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, if you're white people like wittiness. They be trying to outwit you. And so if you got some wittiness to you, some clever jokes in there, then, oh, you got me there. Like that. they
touche.
Yeah, okay. I ain't think you could get over on me like that. And black people want authenticity. Mm-hmm. They want the genuine, the shit that they can relate to. That's pretty much, I try to be authentic and witty. That's the at least the sauce I think that there is. If you're authentic and you witty, you can capture both rooms, because you go, as an authentic person, whether you white, black, Mexican, you're gonna be yourself, and no matter who else around. Mm-hmm. And then people want it's still a show. Mm-hmm. So I think it was you see how other artists, how they perform, like music artists, mm-hmm. or poets or whatever it means, the level of especially if you go to like a spoken word, and they do them poems and they pause and they
bring it back.
You can feel the emotion. Mm-hmm. in the spoken word
in the room,
so you can feel it. So that's kind of the same energy that when I look at doing a show, you gotta have the showmanship with it as well, so that when people come out, they still know it was a show as opposed to you just telling jokes.
How do you feel about people stealing jokes?
Oh man, that shit sucks, man. But it's part of it, man. This is you start to learn that some of it's not, and then some of it you'll tell what is, because we're in a small world. If we just say talking about jokes about on podcasts, eventually somebody gonna say the same joke, because you're talking about the same topics. But it's how you say what you're going to say, mm-hmm. is what makes the difference, and what you're talking about. So if we talking about podcasts, we're like, yeah, you probably get 1,000 comments. Why the mic so close to your mouth? Mm-hmm. Like Simone.
Yeah, I
know exactly like this. But that's just the nature of the beast. But what you learn is the comics that do that, you're not gonna get many people that people see. They see what's going on. Like, you see people that, and you'll start to not. When I see comics and I've seen quite a bit. For me as a comic, I'm like, I don't know if I want to work with them no more. But then ultimately,
why wouldn't you want to work with them? Just on the strength that they taking jokes, they might take yours and run with it type shit.
Well, this is the thing. If you gotta take mine, you gotta take a lot, because I do a lot of callbacks, and I mean, if you're gonna do that, but it's gonna be hard for you to keep it up. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a hard thing. As fast as you can steal it, I'm writing.
Have you ever heard somebody use one?
Oh man, I've seen people try to do it in front of me.
What?
And they mess up the joke.
Do you say anything to them, or you just?
Yeah, I say something to them. I mean, you cannot say nothing to them, because the people that I've seen, they have just saw me. And then
even wait a week.
Even with the younger comics, and now I look at it differently. It's kind of like you see how people follow Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart, and you see younger comics doing this. It's flattering in a sense. I'm like, oh man, I see that you admire me in that way.
So they admiring you and taking your shit?
Well, I mean, they like your shit. They like you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just coming for that. If they taking your shit, they gonna try for more. But they a fan. How you gonna to try to take my shit? You gotta watch me.
Yeah, true.
So that's the same thing. You got. I see people try to do Kevin Hart all the time. I see people try to do some of the other, whoever their favorite comic is, or whatever it's white, black, Mexican, whatever your favorite comic is. You will
take their
comics. Mimic that, but along the way you start to try to develop your own style. So we all come in and watching somebody has influenced us to start comedy. So you're gonna have some of that because that's what you think is funny. And then as you go on, you're gonna be like, all right, that ain't the style that I do. And then you may have different styles. Like for me, I'll do stories sometimes, and then if I'm hosting, I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking big shit. and I ain't doing it to be malicious or anything, but it's just a different thing.
So quick question. Say you hosting the show, right? And a comic comes up and use one of your bits and you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like you the host and they own the show and they use your shit and they get off. Are you addressing it on the mic?
Yeah, depends. I mean, I would depends on what I'm doing. I mean, if I can tell that they have just stole my shit, yeah, I'm gonna just hey, call them out. I don't know if I necessarily do them out on the mic, just because I give people an opportunity. All right, cool. What's going on, dog? Because as comics, nobody gives you the rules to this shit.
It's not, yeah.
Nobody tells you the rules, and I won't necessarily put nobody out. Look, I'm gonna give you opportunity, bro. Let me tell you something. Come holler at me. Yo, you got this is this ain't your material, and people gonna know just because a lot of times people have seen if it's my material, they done seen it somewhere. Somebody have seen it, and I got it on record, and I record just about everything. And I'm like, all right, now what's going to happen is people gonna see you and they're gonna start. You can continue to do it and but then you're not gonna get as much work because people know you're a joke thief. So what I can tell you is come on with you decided to do this because you're funny. You didn't come to do this because you're a tape recorder and you want to, or a recording device and you want to replay what's already out there. Come on with you. There's people that like what you gonna do. Whatever it is that you're drawing that you're gonna come on, it's somebody out there that's gonna like what you're gonna do.
Do you believe that people have to be funny to be comedians, or can they learn to be funny?
I mean, funny is relative. That's the thing. What's funny to me is different to somebody else. Because I don't laugh at everybody, so I don't expect everybody to laugh at me. But eventually, I'm shooting shots, so I'm gonna get you. Yeah. That's the game of it. So I think the comics that are not funny or presumed to be funny right now, they haven't identified how to connect to people to understand what they're talking about and so they can visualize it.
So how would they do that?
I mean, you got that comes from the reps and come from feedback. If you ain't getting it now, if you ain't getting laughter right now, and you think it's supposed to be funny, you need to talk that shit through with somebody else. Yo, I don't understand why it's.
Yeah, I got a joke that took me a year to write.
Like what? I mean, that's the thing. So if you got a joke that took you a year to write, why did it take you a year to write the joke?
Well, I wrote the joke. It took a year for it to work.
Okay. Well, how do you think it took a year for it to work?
Because I had to get it right. I had to break it down, rebuild it, fix it, keep the same premise and the same punch, but shorten it up, figure it out, and how to deliver it inside of the set at the right time.
Yeah, so that's
and I didn't know how to write a set until you told me. just let the world know that I appreciate Ray showing me how to write a set.
Hey man, well, look, I don't even know what I mean. Well, thank you, I guess.
Merry Christmas.
And you know what? I've been meaning to ask you about that too.
Where's your reparations for that?
Nah, but nah, this I don't know, man. It's all relative, man. People gonna figure out. I tell you, if you don't think that if it took you a year to figure it out, that means you're.
But some people just give up.
Well, it ain't just to giving up.
I mean, like on a
What you
joke or like in general, like, oh, that shit didn't work. Throw it away. People used to tell people all the time, just throw it away. You don't need it. You can figure something else out.
Shit,
No, rock that thing.
If you don't, I ain't gonna never see you throw away because if it's funny then, it'll be funny now. You just you ain't found the other piece to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's jokes that I was doing. I got a lot of jokes, and there's jokes that I was doing a long time ago that I just don't use anymore. Either because of the time changes,
The sensitivity.
Well, ain't this time changes. Now it may seem hacky or whatever it may be. And I'm like, I don't want to do that until I've got a new perspective on it. So I may bring it back later. Or there's jokes that I've written a long time. I'm like, oh, okay, and I found the piece that'll make it work now. Because it may be in another joke, but now I'm like, oh, I can connect it to this joke because now it works better for this joke. But I mean, you just tried shit. You're figuring it out as you go. My whole thing is I'm gonna figure it all out. That's pretty much it. From the figuring out how to put the podcast together and running that. That's how I do the comedy and the business. I figure it out as it go.
Yeah, and you got to change with society because the things that we talked about when we started might offend the hell out of somebody right now. Or you just still do it and don't give a damn.
I mean, I do what I want to do. My thing is just the same concept. If you're not gonna like me because of joke, we ain't there either way. And you wasn't gonna rock with me no way. So that's cool. I mean, everybody not gonna like me. And I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's just how it works. So the name of we about to get up out of here. The name of the podcast is called Unqualified Qualifications. When was there a time in life that you felt qualified, but the rest of the world thought that you was unqualified?
Man, doing it. What you talking about, man? You know how delusional you got to be a comic.
Yeah.
To believe that especially if you're trying to be successful and you're trying to provide for a family, you want to do what? You want to provide for your family, telling jokes. When you look at it like that is we selling jokes. We selling people fun and words and enjoyment. So, and you got to get people to at some point in time to support, because you're gonna need some support in this. Whether that's if you got kids, to help you support your kids, to support you mentally, sometimes financially, sometimes you just need mental stability. People to come say good affirmations to you. So that's pretty much it, man. You gotta figure it out, and a lot of doing comedy is like, damn, every night. And even if you kill when you come back, especially when you working a job, you got to come back and clock back in.
After you just rock the club.
Yeah, rock the club, and you think it's supposed to explode. No, you about to be in here. You finna put these 8 hours in. And we're going to expect some additional stuff at the end of the day. So, And then your kids going to want something, or you going to have a bill due late. It's going to be some bullshit. And you got to get up and go back to do this again and again until you can get this material right.
For free or $5?
For free, for
a meal,
food,
a cup of liquor,
nothing.
They'll give you liquor.
And man, not everywhere they used to, man. Like, yeah, that'll be. You get to look at, is this for the comments? What you mean for the comments? That's $5. That's what you going. $8 with it. $8 now. $9 for beer.
They used to tell you can either get cash or you can get a tab at the bar.
Yeah, man.
So let everybody know your socials, how to get in contact with you, how they follow you, where they gonna see you, what's popping.
Oh man. Y'all can follow me at Comedian Ray Money on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. At Comedian Ray Money. And at my website too, www. comedianraymoney.com.
Get some merch.
Yeah, get some merch. Yeah, get you shit. Depending on what y'all got, y'all can just call me directly, man. I ain't gonna gotta go through all the I ain't gonna do that. Y'all mess with me, man. We ain't gotta go through all that. What you need, I'm gonna pull up.
All right, everybody. It's been wonderful, man. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to Me and Ray Money.
Peace.
Be good, man.
It's Bash on the beat.
Line up, line up.